Hi, it is July 4th for all the Americans. Happy 4th. Um, and it's also 3:59 p.m. Today, I'm going to be talking about how you can't be two things at once. So, here goes. You know how you can't be in two places at once physically? Because it's pretty much not possible unless you watch Walk to Remember and you know that you can only achieve that by standing on a border and having both your legs. Anyway, whatever. My point is, you can't be in two places at once. If I want to be in the United States and if I want to be in India, I can't be there physically at the same time. Same way, you cannot be in two. You cannot be two things at once, mentally. Now, if you have been watching my channel, I talk a lot about law of assumption, imagination being the only reality, and consciousness being the only reality, and how your I amness is God. And this is what this ties into. Your I am cannot occupy two things at once. You either are something or you are not something. But you being something and you not being something is still you being something else. Like, for example, if I tell myself that I am rich, that is me occupying the state of being rich, okay? But that's also me telling myself that I am not poor, okay? That's also a state. That's the same state as I am rich. But the thing is, you cannot say that I am rich while also telling yourself that I am poor. And that's probably one of the reasons why you don't see things happen in your reality. The reason why you can't do this is because the way I look at consciousness is like a house, right? It's kind of like a house. In your house, you have many rooms. The same way in your mind, in your imagination, you have many rooms. And these rooms are states, or these rooms are concepts. Let's say you've been living in a room for the longest time, which is I am rich, or I am poor. Let's start there. You've been living in a room for the longest time called I am poor. But now you want to move into a room that is I am rich. You cannot keep oscillating between these two rooms and expect your reality to change. It doesn't make sense. You can't be in two identities at once. Which is why Neville talks so much about letting the old story go and letting the dead bury the dead. You have to understand that you're not doing anything in the external world, but all of this is just you doing things within yourself. You're not changing anyone but you, which is why it's not delusion, which is why it's not forcing or manipulation. It is just you choosing to dwell in a different identity, and as a result of you dwelling in this new identity and persisting in it, things around you change. Because it goes like this. It's first, at the core of everything is your beliefs, which is you are a set of beliefs. This concept, all these concepts you have, okay, about yourself is what makes you you. So at the core of it is beliefs, identity / beliefs, okay? Your beliefs make your identity, make up an identity, okay? That's at the core. Then out of that is the emotions. Your beliefs make you feel things, okay? Then the external of that is your thoughts. And then at the top is your behaviors, okay? So, normally, we would think from the outside in, right? We would think that, okay, so first I have to change the way I show up. Like, let's like take an example of exercising, okay, or losing weight. First, you think that you have to change your behavior, which is going to the gym. then that will lead you to, or like eating healthy or whatever. That will lead you to your thoughts, which is like you need to think like thoughts like that. Then it will lead you to changing your emotions about it. Then it will lead you to changing your beliefs about it. That's not how it works. You're going to fail losing weight. That you're not going to be able to do it. Because if you start identifying yourself as someone who is easy, for who it is easy to lose weight, for who it is just normal to lose weight, it is just so easy. No matter what you eat, no matter what you do, you still lose weight. And that becomes your belief. Then your emotions, your thoughts, and your actions or your behaviors will automatically change. That's what you're doing. When you occupy a state in your imagination, what you're doing is you are just identifying with a new person within yourself. If you are already secure in a secure, loving relationship, for example, you would automatically have good feelings about yourself, automatically have good thoughts about yourself and your partner, automatically behave in that way of security. You see what I'm trying to say? But at the same time, you cannot be insecure and have this exact dynamic. Because it just doesn't work that way. You can't be two things at once, just like you can't be two places at once. And this is probably why you're not seeing any movement or seeing any results, because you're constantly oscillating between two identities, between either having it or not having it, between either being it or not being it. Which is why you're seeing hot and cold behavior or hot and cold progress out there. That's why the scale number keeps going up or going down, because your identity keeps oscillating. What is identity? Identity, like I said, is ultimately just a set of beliefs you have. And what are beliefs? Beliefs are just feelings, not emotions, no, feelings. A knowing feeling about something. I have a knowing feeling right now about myself that I am a winner. That is a knowing feeling. It's never going to change. Can I change it? Sure. But it's now a part of my identity because it's my belief. And because I have this belief, I see opportunities and I don't see obstacles. I only see opportunities. And that's why I am able to make certain decisions. And that's why the outcome is that I always win. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy, because your brain, kind of tying it into psychology, if you have a certain belief, your brain is always going to try to confirm it. So if you have a belief that you're unlovable, you start having emotions like that, you start having thoughts like that, and that's why you start behaving in certain ways that kind of reinforces this pattern of, okay, I'm unlovable. So if you want to change fundamentally, and I think you should, because trying to change someone else or something outside of you will only make you frustrated and angry and extremely sad, because it's not in your control. Anything in this external is not in your control. Apart from things that are actually in your control, like getting up, doing your thing. I'm talking about actual people, their reactions, not in your control. Okay? So, if you're trying to change, I would take a good look at your identity and what this identity of yourself that you've created. And this could be as recent as yesterday that you picked up a belief, or as like far out as like childhood. Okay? And you don't need to do any like inner child work or healing work. I mean, I know people say that you should, but I mean, I don't really think you need to, because ultimately what you're changing is the feeling. That's what you're changing. You're not changing. It's by understanding that you have no limiting beliefs in the first place. Every single day is a clean slate. So you're just changing the feeling about yourself that you have. Let's say you have a belief that you are unlovable. Okay? That's a feeling that you have about yourself. The way you change this feeling / belief about yourself is by putting yourself in a state of being loved and feeling it. Feeling yourself to be loved right now. What does that feel like? And constantly dwelling in this new feeling until that old feeling just no longer is something you associate with yourself. You see how this is all about you and not about anybody else? And how, like, the only way to get into a new state, a new identity, is by leaving the other identity alone and the other belief alone and just constantly dwelling in the new. But like I said before, you cannot dwell in two identities at once. I can't be a man and a woman right now. Because that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I can't be both. Like, I can't be a female and a male. Like, I can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to pick one. It's either or. Like, I can't pick, like... You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I can't be two things at once. Like, I can't be a singer and not a singer at once. Like, I either am a singer or I'm not a singer. It's the same way with anything you want in your life. You either can be in a relationship or not a relationship. In your head, like, by the way, all of this I'm saying, like, in your mind. Like, the person who is in a relationship. It's not about being in a relationship or having the whatever desire that you want. It's about being the type of person who already has it. You either have it or you don't. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Hope that helps. Kind of a rant, but yeah, let's go out. I'll see you guys later.